In this episode, Larry Ellison doesn't like Red Hat, SCO flogs UNIX assets, and Linus Torvalds is finally a U.S. citizen. QuickSurf Internet Media presents Linux News Log, separating the Linux and open source signal from the noise. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm your host Adrian, coming to you almost live from lovely Phoenix, Arizona, here in Studio C1 at QuickSurf Internet Media. Linux News Log is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Do feel free to head on over to techpodcast.com and check out all the other technology-related shows over there. Let's go ahead and get into the stories for Season 11, Episode 9. From TG Daily, there's a story, Larry Ellison doesn't like Red Hat Linux. What? Come on. Larry Ellison isn't exactly a big fan of Red Hat Linux. As such, Oracle will now offer customers an indigenously developed variant of the OS known as the Unbreakable Enterprise kernel. There are issues with us maintaining 100% compatibility with Red Hat Linux, Ellison explained during his keynote speech at Oracle Open World 2010, and we were having real problems with the Linux OS. So, according to him, Red Hat's technology is at least 4 years behind the industry, and they incorporate bug fixes and security fixes and that sort of thing too slowly. Now, obviously, this is what he's saying, that there's, and there very well may be some truth to it, but it also could just be that Red Hat's not going to toe up to Oracle as a client as quickly as Oracle wants them to, based on, what Oracle's paying them. Could be any number of things why he would say that. I have a hard time thinking 4 years, but, I personally don't use Red Hat on a daily basis, so I don't know. Let's go ahead and talk about our sponsor for this episode, GoToAssist Express. There are a variety of tools that let you remotely support a client, colleague, or friend, but the only one I trust and rely on is GoToAssist Express, the best remote support tool designed for small to medium-sized businesses, and it's brought to you by Citrix. Why Citrix? And GoToAssist Express? Well, it has exceptional performance, it's easy to use, and it's secure. IT professionals, really anybody who doesn't have time to squander with a tool that's slow or unreliable, will appreciate GoToAssist Express. With GoToAssist Express, you have no IT maintenance or updating. It's so fast, you'll be on the other computer troubleshooting or giving a tutorial or doing whatever it is you need to do in seconds. And it's consistently reliable. My audience can try GoToAssist Express free for 30 days. For this special offer, visit gotoassist.com/techpodcast. I repeat, my audience can try GoToAssist Express free for 30 days. For this special offer, visit gotoassist.com/techpodcast. From the Wall Street Journal's technology section, VMware is in talks to acquire Novell's Linux software unit. What? Now, my big question is, what happened to the Microsoft Novell thing? Okay, Novell is in advanced talks with at least 2 buyers, including VMware, to sell the software company in separate pieces, people familiar with the matter said. VMware is pursuing Novell's SUSE Linux operating system business. Attachmate Corp, a private equity-backed software company, could end up buying some or all of the remaining assets, including NetWare, Novell's network operating system. Wow, this is just amazing. I thought Microsoft was planning to buy parts of Novell or something. If I remember correctly, there was a story a while back about that. I'll have to go and look. But still, nonetheless, it's like VMware of all companies, really? Okay. From internetnews.com, does Mageia spell the end for Mandriva Linux? It's been a tough couple of years for Mandriva, formerly Mandrake. The company has been on the edge of financial ruin, changed CEOs more times than I can count, and they unceremoniously fired their founder, Gail Duval. Sure, Duval has been gone more than 4 years at this point, but in my humble opinion, it was his departure that started the long, slow tailspin that is the current decline of Mandriva. Now, for those of you who have been in the audience since the very, very, very beginning of Linux News Log, you'll recall I used to report on Mandriva News all the time. And the reason why is because Gail Duvall directly would email me and say, hey, here's what we got going on. He very quickly identified people in the news space and in the podcasting space very early on to help bolster his product, going, hey, this is what we got going on. I'd get an email from him every 2-3 weeks, a direct email, not a mailing list, a direct email. He'd email me and say, hey, what up? Here we go. And that stopped a long time ago. That stopped a long time ago. But that's part of the problem, is because I stopped reporting on Mandriva. The only reason why I reported on it before was because I got those emails from Gail Duvall. And so as a result, Mandriva pretty much, fell off my radar. I didn't pay any attention to it unless I happened to see some blurb in, Google News or some other news source site, that happened to report something big was happening, which became, events that were far and few between. So I find it very interesting that they're having problems, and it's not a surprise, unfortunately. Just kind of is going to be one of those, it's based off of Red Hat, so it's just going to be one of those distros that goes poof out into the thing, and the people who used to use it are going to switch to Red Hat or some other Red Hat-based distribution. So it's very unfortunate. From Zax.com, Zacks.com, Qualcomm opts for the Red Hat platform. The largest worldwide mobile chipset developer for CDMA technology extended its long-term relationship with Red Hat. Since 2003, Qualcomm has been using Red Hat Enterprise Linux operating system and its virtualization technology. Qualcomm will now use Red Hat's latest technology, enterprise virtualization, for its production facilities. Red Hat's enterprise virtualization platform for servers is an end-to-end virtualization solution that provides persistent data center virtualization, significantly enhancing operational efficiencies. So this is pretty cool stuff. It's good news for Red Hat, obviously, but Qualcomm's a pretty big fish out there, and to see them commit to something like Red Hat, whereas Oracle is saying, "Oh, it's not good enough. We have to do our own." To me, that really strikes a lot of contrast in the priorities of different companies, for sure. From the Inquirer, SCO flogs UNIX assets. We thought we'd never hear from SCO or hear about SCO ever again. Well, the anti-Linux litigation outfit SCO is flogging off its software assets in a fire sale that many open sourcers will find amusing. In a press release, SCO, which calls itself a leading provider of Unix software technology, I don't think they've been leading for probably 10 years, but still, said that it is selling all of the assets of its Unix business, including Unix System 5 software products and related services. Really? This is funny because SCO doesn't actually own Unix System 5, as found by a jury in the U.S. District Court trial in Utah last March. Apparently, all it has is a contract with Novell to collect royalties from Unix licensees on Novell's behalf, taking a 5% commission for its effort. Interesting. So, it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. Again, they're doing funky stuff, which I would kind of expect. From AsiaBiz.com, the creator of Linux, Linus Torvalds, is finally a U.S. citizen. The creator of the Linux operating system finally got his U.S. citizenship, and he is real happy about it. I'll bet. Linus Torvalds, the creator of Linux, is originally from Finland, and he moved to the U.S. in the year 1997. 13 years is what it took for him to finally get a U.S. citizenship. Now, for those of you who are trying to immigrate to the U.S., this is typical. I know from personal experience. This is very, very, very typical of how long it takes to get U.S. citizenship. Now, fortunately, I'm actually born here in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm a Phoenix native, and Arizona is one of those states that has a lot of people from Mexico that aren't here legally, and so you see firsthand a lot of this. I mean, we got front row seats to what's going down, and it's not pretty in many respects. I know a lot of people where it takes them 2, 3, 4 years. Some thousands and thousands. They pay out $10,000, $15,000 just to be able to get here legally or legalize themselves after they are here. And so, you know, it's heavy duty stuff going down, you know, and there really needs to be, it's cool that he got US citizenship, you know, that's really, really neat. But, you know, at the same time, it's one of those things where it's a really serious matter and that a lot of people are really split on it. My big thing is how come it's not, you know, there's not more technology being applied to it, open source or not, I don't care. You know, use the best tool for the job, but, you know, there's a lot of stuff just from the stories I've heard and some of the things I've had to do for family members and stuff where, you know, I keep finding myself going, is this really necessary? Do I have to really file this thing like 4 different times? Do I really have to make triplicate copies? You guys don't do this online? I mean, really? Just a lot of the stuff is just like, you've got to be kidding me. So it'll be interesting to see how this all goes. You know, I'm glad for him. You know, it's a huge step. You know, there's a lot of benefit to being a citizen, but there's also a lot of downsides as well. So, you know, be happy and good luck, man. That'll pretty much do it for this edition of Linux News Log. As always, everything we've talked about is linked up in the show notes at linux.quicksurf.com. You can shoot me an email, linux@quicksurf.com. You can follow me on twitter.com/Adrian_bacon. And I apologize for my raspy voice. I've been under the weather for the last week or so, and it's not going away all that quickly. And I wish it would, because it's painful to talk, and so I'm really eking this out. But we'll see all of you on the next episode. I'll see you then. Bye.